My name is Jared Trust, and you may or may not know me. I have a business called American Information Products where I sell and develop and produce information, digital products, ebooks, like what this is going to be, podcasts, like what this is going to be, videos. I have a YouTube channel and a Vimeo channel. And I also co-own a business called American Military Supplies, which is fairly recent. I started it summer 2016, and that's been very exciting, as you can see here. And I made American Military Supplies along with my stepdad. There's a good example of the ending, the big point of The Alchemist for you. Is that the sometimes we're out there looking around, we think what we need or the answer is out there somewhere. We have to go out and search for it, and sometimes it's literally right in front of our noses. And this has been the subject lately, an Oscar-winning subject. Believe it or not, with La La Land. Not to give away the ending, but one, it's not about the end, because at this age and after what I've been through and listened to, it's never over, and it's never enough, and it's always gonna be going. But the big subject, the Oscar-winning subject, is that sometimes we get so hypnotized, so involved, we become so naive, our vision becomes so manipulated and not our own, that we fail to, one, live in the now, and two, we think unless it's got 1,000 or 1,000,000 views, or it's got a lot of likes, or unless you're making $1 million, that it doesn't matter, and that's not important, and that it's not something that needs to be paid attention to. It's not information that's valuable. And that, in my opinion, especially for us younger people living in this world, I was born in 1986, so I've aged and evolved with the greatest technological advance in human history. 1986 to now, I have evolved along with computers and mobile phones and smartphones and software and technology and websites. And I've been involved in this for a long time. And over the last year, after a set of unfortunate circumstances, I've spent the last year trying to better myself. And by better myself, I mean, one, I let go of this huge ego that I had, that I was so great and so hot, and that I was in such demand, that I was so smart, and that I just knew everything. I knew everything, and no one could tell me that they were cooler than me, because I was cool, and I could get whatever I want. And I was wrong. And it took a lot of unfortunate circumstances for me to realize that maybe I could be wrong. Maybe I wasn't, maybe I wasn't where I wanted to be. Maybe I wasn't as cool and as smart as I thought I was. And before I could do anything, I had to accept that. I had to reflect on that. And that was hard. It took a while. And at first it felt like I was doing myself a disservice. by saying, hey, you need to keep an open mind because maybe you don't know it all. Maybe the way you're going, maybe you're not going to win. Maybe in the end, you're not going to end up with all the things that you want. Maybe life's going to be a lot tougher than you thought it was going to be. And whether or not you think, whether or not your life is great or cruddy or boring or stable, time, not money, is our greatest commodity. And when we look at where our time goes and what we do with our time, I would say 99% of everyone, especially younger people, you have about 90% of our time and our energy and our focus and our mental and our physical energy going towards making a living, making money, working. And if you're under 40 or 50 or 60, you're not a million or a billionaire, and you're living paycheck to paycheck, or you're working for someone else, or you're dealing with surviving in a certain dynamic. There's politics involved, and we have to ask ourselves, are we really free in that scenario? But more importantly, can we, during that period of time, are we in a position to be able to build something for ourselves? Are we in a position to pursue our own dreams and ambitions? And that is why I have created, that's why I've done everything I've done over the last year. That's why I've listened to over 100 of the best audiobooks. That's why I've read hundreds of the best ebooks multiple times on bike rides and whatnot, because I decided that if I was going to better myself, the only way that was going to happen was to learn and gain insight from people that had more than me, people that were twice my age, people that had, been through so many things, and I felt by listening to their audiobooks and reading their ebooks and watching their videos that I could essentially save myself time, that I could learn valuable lessons without having to go through them myself, whether they be bad or good. Because my goal, and I feel that it probably is your goal as well, is to not only make a living and survive and be happy and have all the great things in life like love and money and to feel good and to be healthy, but for me at least, and I think for most young people, we want to feel like, once all those things are happening, we want to feel like we are moving towards a general direction. We are making progress towards our own dreams and goals and ambitions, essentially our own product, our own service, something we can call our own, something we get to decide what it's called, how it works, what it looks like, what color it is, where it's sold, why it's sold, what time we want to sell it at. I mean, these are all things that people that have essentially achieved and created a successful business. These are all things that they get to do. It's control. They get to control their life. They get to control their schedule. They get to control everything. And in one of the hundreds of audiobooks and ebooks that I listen to daily, it said that happiness is having control over your life. Happiness, there's a lot that goes to happiness, but a big aspect of happiness is having control. Because if you don't have control, then, every day you're living in fear, You really don't, you can't really build anything. You can't really make progress because you don't have control over your time. And this, unfortunately, is a hard thing to accept. That it's control is something we lose when we work for someone else. As important and crucial it is to work for someone else. And yes, you can, become wealthy and have everything you want from working for someone else. What we give up is our control and our time. And time is our most valuable commodity, and control is what we need. It is the biggest factor in happiness. And especially if we are in the workplace, there are things that are affecting us negatively, or we're not happy, or we don't like our job, along with, losing, 40 hours of the week, working for someone else, making a living, having stability, but how are you changing the world? How are you helping people? How are you building and growing and thinking something that's going to end up being your legacy when you pass? And to step ahead here, I'm going to take a break. This is my introduction. And by the way, if you like this, and if you like any other content or video that I do, please subscribe and like it and share it. You don't have to, by all means. And it might not seem important, but, and I'm going to talk about this, the video after this, I'm going to get straight to, I'm not going to talk about how to think anymore. I'm going to tell you exactly how to do what's going to give you control, what's going to save you time, give you freedom, make you money, bring you happiness, and it's all going to be you. And that's what I'm going to talk about next. But before I go there, if you support what I'm talking about, it's important to subscribe and like it and share it or comment. Because, first of all, just to give you some useful information, on YouTube, when someone makes a YouTube channel, and I hope after this audiobook, you move forward and make yourself a YouTube channel, even if you don't start making videos and content for that channel for another few years. It doesn't matter. You should make it, grab the name, build it, and in your mind you'll know it's there. And trust me, that will feel good. But you'll realize what I'm realizing, what many have realized, is that if you don't support the things that are good, the things that are useful, I might continue to make a couple more audiobooks and ebooks and videos, but eventually, if no one, takes a moment to pay it forward or give back and say, hey, what you talked about, that was great, and I appreciate the energy and the time that you put into sharing that. Because in the third out of the 100 audiobook I listened to, they said that in business, the most important thing is discretion. Which basically means, if you figure out how to do something that makes you a lot of money, be discreet. Don't tell anyone else. Don't talk about it. Do it, make your money, and be discreet. One of the Harvard Business School top 20 facts. But I don't believe that. I believe that giving, that we receive when we give, I believe that giving is the best thing we can do, just for ourselves. Another fact I learned is that I believe is that we feel better when we give than when we buy something for ourselves, or we receive. Buying something for ourselves is a very temporary therapy. but giving something, and especially giving something of value to someone else, it's euphoric in the best way. And you're developing good karma for yourself, and good things are going to come to you. So with that said, on YouTube, once you reach 1,000 subscribers, you can officially make money off your content. Until you have 1,000 subscribers, all content, all videos, everything you do, with no guarantee of getting 1,000 subscribers, you really can't make money. So I'm not doing this for the money, but if we spend a year doing something that we're not getting paid for, eventually, our survival is going to come to a point where, we have to, like the rest of the world, prioritize our survival, and we have to stop what we want to do, we have to stop giving and basically start giving, if that makes sense. So if you like what I'm talking about, if you support this project, please like and subscribe. And you know what? When you do this or something similar, I'll like and subscribe to you. So I'm going to end this by telling you about the things on my desk before I get into the Big Daddy. If you've seen Beauty and the Beast, this is my rose. Time, but also a sense of urgency. Very important. Without a sense of urgency, we just take our sweet time, we play video games. Without a sense of urgency, desperate urgency, the likelihood of us accomplishing a lot in a week, a day, and a couple hours is little to none. So I, bought this. It's probably 50 cents at a garage sale, but what it signifies is something of great importance to me, and I have to be very careful. And having a sense of urgency, and we all should, because our time is our greatest commodity. It goes fast. We don't have a lot of it, and make use of your time, because it's all we got. It goes fast. Don't take advantage. This is something I know, but for me to appreciate this, I had to go through a lot. And so, one of the most useful things I think I could say in this whole podcast and video is this. What motivates you to do anything? Without this, you don't have that motivation. Without that and this, why would you do anything? You don't need to. And this is the issue we see with people that are born into massive amounts of money, is that there's no urgency. There's no flower that's losing petals, that once that goes out, you turn into a hideous monster. And this is not as valued. For me, this could be a person, it could be a couple people, it could be an idea, it could be family, but this, out of everything that I'm motivated to do, and along with this, another thing for me is helping, giving, and being useful, and leaving behind a legacy of helping people. Because today, for all I know, could be my last day. But this is what keeps me going. Without this, honestly, I wouldn't probably be doing this right now. But this gives me drive, this gives me heart, this gives me purpose, and it's important. A bank account, okay? Before we get started in the next video, you'll need a bank account, okay? A bank account is a place where you put your money. It's also a place where people can transfer money to you. It's a place where you can pay your bills. A bank account is something that you need. And once you get it, don't screw it up. Don't overdraft it. Take care of it, because this is everything. 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 Just trust me on that. This, okay? Invoices, receipts, okay? Someone can't buy something from you unless you make an offer. And then once they buy it, several things have to happen. One, if it's a purchase that's in the state you're in, you have to charge sales tax. It's a legality. Second of all, people want proof. They want proof they bought it. Okay, if you don't hand them a piece of paper that says, hey, you bought this for this much on this day, they're not going to buy jack squat from you. So get some receipts. We're going to talk about software and tools and phone apps that are going to allow you to do this too. But if you're not big on the phone and the software, go get a little thing of receipts, because without this, you can't sell anything. And you need to sell something to better your life, to be successful. You're going to have to sell a product or a service. You can't sell it without a receipt. Credit cards. Normally, I'm not a fan of credit cards. I don't have any credit cards, luckily. I should, but I don't. I'm shocked. Credit cards. But don't use the money to pay your rent. This is money that's going to make you money. So, you don't need a lot of it. But whether it's a family member, a credit card, you're going to need some money to invest in yourself. So, if you're too young and you haven't had a chance to screw up your credit, or someone actually offers you a little bit of money or believes in something that you're passionate about, take as much as you can get and use it only to invest in yourself and your business, product, and not only that, but invest in money product that's gonna make you money. Don't buy a new computer. Buy something that you're gonna sell for more. And if you're gonna put in time to sell something, don't spend all this time just to make 20 bucks. If you're gonna put in time and effort to sell something where you make 200 bucks. Minimum. This. Action lists. To-do lists. If you want to get something done, write it down. If we don't write it down, our thoughts are just jumbling around our head at all times. We're not organized. We're all over the place. Action lists for you doing a video. For example, the video I'm doing now, I do a one-page outline before every video I do. Okay? Action list, to-do list. Every millionaire and billionaire will tell you that this was everything. I'm telling you, it's everything. Faith. Whether you just faith in yourself, whatever religion, faith. The word. You know, when things get hard, this can pull you through it. This is important. Growing up, I wasn't big on faith, but when I started building a business and I started taking risks, I realized that God's real, karma's real, and why not believe in Him? Why not? I mean, just saying, oh, I don't believe in that. It's just like saying, oh, that train could hit me, but it's probably not going to. You know, it's like, all it can do is help. And you might just feel something extraordinary or miraculous one day by being open to it. Books. If you don't like reading books, I don't even know if you can buy books anymore. Ebooks do exist. You can download them online, free or paid. If you don't like reading, be like me and download or buy audiobooks. You can listen to them when you're driving. You can listen to them when you're biking. You can listen to them when you're walking. You can share them with your friends. You can share them on your social media.
They are basically your mentors. They're your friends. These people, get a good pair of headphones. These people, literally, when I wake up in the morning, I stick the words, the life, not only the words and the life, but, of a very, very successful millionaire mentor. I wake up and I stick him in my ear, and he just is there as long as I want him to be, and he just says, Jared, do this, don't do this. Do this, this is how this works. You can do it. You're awesome. Believe in yourself. Remove the negativity. Feed the beast. Be positive. This is how you do it. This is how this person made it. This is how this person made it. I believe in you. Cut out the bad influence and believe in yourself and pursue your dream. And then I can go, that was so freaking extraordinary and inspiring, and I'm so anxious to do something incredible with my life, I can't even listen to it anymore. It's my daily life. And your tools, okay? Whether it's a tripod, a computer, and in these beautiful days, a cell phone and a smartphone. I don't care if it's broken. You don't even know what I can do, and what soon after my next audiobook after this, you'll know what you can do with this tiny little device that sits in your pocket. This is the key. This is your answer, alchemist. It's your smartphone. That's the big secret. Your smartphone. We're going to talk about that. We're not going to talk about it. We're going to tell you what apps to get, and not just what apps to get. I'm going to tell you the best apps. I'm going to tell you the apps that are going to make possibilities possible. And I'm going to save you a massive amount of time, or maybe some of you may have never even thought of it or put the time or had the time. So that's why I'm here, because I'm going to tell you, you want this app, you want this app, you want this app, you do this app, you do this is how you use it, blah, blah, blah. We're going to get to that. Thank you if you like the things I'm talking about. If you don't subscribe, if you don't share, if you don't like, I'll continue making videos, and I want you to know I'm doing this for you. But there may come a time, if I just don't get any support, where I, like a lot of other people, have to pursue other things, and I may not have as much time or energy to put into helping the world. So that's why it's very important to support each other, believe in each other, have faith in each other, and listen to each other. The 5th audiobook, the biggest business secrets that they don't teach you at Harvard. Be an aggressive listener. Last tool I'm going to talk about in this video. You need to be able to charge people, okay? If you sell someone your product, and you need to have a business card, but if someone says, okay, I want to buy your product, your service, you got to charge them. And it needs to be easy, convenient, and happen right then on the spot. You get this for free. It's called a Square Reader. It's through an app called Square. It's free. They'll send it to you. Basically, you plug this into your smartphone. You can take someone's credit card and swipe it. The money goes directly in your PayPal account, and then you give them your product or service. You get paid, they get their service, you were able to swipe their credit card. It all happened in a 5-minute period. It's gotta be that easy. Or people will just say, nah, oh no, oh, it's gonna be all complicated and hard. Oh, nah, I don't wanna do that. Here's your receipt. Confidence in buying is key. The reason places are successful is people are confident that they're going to get what they want, they're going to have a good time, that a nice blonde girl is going to be right there to serve them, and that when they stumble out, they're going to have a great place to eat 1 block away. Confidence to buy. Without confidence, if they're not confident, if they're questioning, if they're confused, no go, baby. Your competitor is gonna take the sale, take your money. Who's got your money? Your competitor. because you didn't have this, and it took too long. So get this, and this, and we're gonna talk about that.